System modeling. System modeling is an advanced forecasting approach that attempts to simulate complex business environments. Large organizations often develop sophisticated models to represent economic systems, market competition, and organizational processes. These models use mathematical relationships between different variables to predict how changes in one factor may affect others. For example, system models might simulate how changes in interest rates, demand levels, or competitor behavior influence sales and profitability. By modeling these interactions, organizations can test potential strategies and evaluate their likely outcomes before implementing them in practice. This allows managers to explore different strategic scenarios and improve decision-making. System modeling requires identifying key variables and understanding how they interact within the business environment. These variables might include economic indicators, customer demand, production capacity, cost structures, and competitor actions. The challenge lies in accurately defining the relationships between these variables and incorporating them into a realistic model. If important variables are omitted or relationships are incorrectly defined, the results produced by the model may be unreliable. Therefore, successful system modeling requires both strong analytical capabilities and a deep understanding of the business environment. Modern information systems and specialized software play an important role in supporting system modeling. Many organizations use enterprise resource management (ERM) systems and advanced analytical software to develop forecasting models and simulate business scenarios. These technologies allow companies to process large amounts of data and explore how different strategic decisions may affect future performance. For example, organizations may model the impact of expanding into a new market, introducing a new product, or adjusting pricing strategies. By analyzing these simulated outcomes, managers can identify risks, evaluate alternatives, and choose strategies that are more likely to achieve long-term organizational objectives. Scenario planning. Scenario planning is a strategic planning tool used to explore possible future environments and assess how different developments may affect organizational strategy. Instead of predicting a single future outcome, it considers multiple plausible scenarios that could emerge from uncertainties in the external environment. The purpose is to help organizations anticipate risks and opportunities and reduce the likelihood of strategic surprises. By considering several alternative futures, managers can develop flexible strategies that remain viable under different conditions. Scenario planning improves organizational foresight and encourages strategic thinking by forcing decision-makers to examine assumptions about economic, political, and technological changes that may influence long-term performance. The process of scenario planning typically begins by identifying high-impact and high-uncertainty factors in the business environment. These drivers may be identified through tools such as pestle analysis or industry analysis. After identifying key drivers, organizations assess how these factors might evolve in different ways. Each factor may have several possible future outcomes. Managers then combine these outcomes to develop a set of coherent scenarios describing alternative future environments. This helps organizations understand the range of conditions they may face and provides a structured basis for evaluating strategic options. By doing so, firms improve their ability to adapt strategies in response to environmental uncertainty. Once scenarios are constructed, organizations analyze the strategic and financial implications of each possible future situation. Managers may develop optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely scenarios to evaluate potential risks and opportunities. For each scenario, the organization assesses expected financial outcomes such as profitability, cash flows, and capital requirements. Strategic implications are also considered, including new opportunities, threats, or capability requirements. These insights allow decision-makers to design strategies that are robust under several future conditions rather than relying on a single forecast. This approach improves resilience and helps organizations respond quickly if environmental conditions change unexpectedly. Scenario planning is also valuable as a continuous monitoring and learning process rather than a one-time forecasting exercise. Organizations track developments in the external environment to determine which scenario appears to be unfolding. If new information suggests that conditions are shifting, managers can adjust their strategies accordingly. This proactive monitoring helps organizations respond before problems arise rather than relying solely on reactive control systems. Scenario planning therefore encourages flexibility, strategic awareness, and improved long-term planning in uncertain environments. By regularly reviewing scenarios and updating assumptions, organizations can maintain strategic readiness and reduce the impact of unexpected environmental changes. Game theory perspectives. Game theory provides a strategic framework for analyzing competitive interactions between organizations. It assumes that firms operate in environments where the actions of one competitor influence the outcomes experienced by others. Decision-makers must therefore anticipate how rivals may react to strategic moves such as price changes, product launches, or market entry. Game theory encourages managers to consider strategy as a sequence of interdependent decisions rather than isolated choices. By modeling possible reactions from competitors, organizations can evaluate whether a proposed action will create advantage or provoke retaliation that could reduce overall profitability. One of the key insights of game theory is that strategic outcomes depend on the behavior and expectations of competing firms. In many industries, organizations must consider whether competitors will cooperate, compete aggressively, or attempt to block strategic moves. For example, firms may attempt to deter competitors from entering a market by signaling strong defensive capabilities or by committing resources to strategic investments. Game theory therefore highlights the importance of credibility, signaling, and commitment in competitive strategy. Organizations must evaluate how their decisions may influence competitor behavior and whether certain actions will discourage or encourage competitive responses. Game theory also emphasizes the importance of strategic positioning and first-mover advantages. In some cases, organizations that move first can influence market conditions in ways that make it difficult for competitors to respond effectively. For example, securing exclusive resources, establishing strong brand recognition, or locking in distribution channels may limit the options available to rivals. However, first-mover strategies also carry risks because competitors may learn from early mistakes and enter the market with improved approaches. Strategic decision-makers must therefore weigh the potential benefits of early action against the advantages of waiting and observing competitor behavior.